Hi guys, in today's videos I'll be talking about a subject that many of you men like, women. And I've titled it, kind of tentatively titled it, The Women Who Left and the One I Never Found. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that title, so by the time you see this, I may have changed the title a little bit. But basically I'm talking about my ex-girlfriends and my estranged daughter, about women in general, girls, when I was growing up. I think you guys will like the story about me and my teacher, my office studies teacher, Miss Michael. She was lovely. And I had a crush on her when I was about 15. But, the women that I've met in my life have all kind of, I would say rejected me or left because of shyness. I was shy. I had undiagnosed ADHD or autism or whatever it is. I'm still waiting for my assessment. I've filled in lots of papers, but I'm not sure if they contacted me, and I didn't get in contact with them back. So that's something I have to sort out. But basically, my history with women and how they all left, because I was either shy. In some periods I was too shy and I didn't take them out. In other periods, I don't know. I don't know if this would have happened to me if I was normal or just the average person. So you can watch the video and just see for yourself. Let me know what you think. Women who left and the one I never found. Sometimes I wonder about the women who came into my life and the ones who left. And then there's the one I never found, and maybe never will. There's this bittersweet ache when you reflect, not just on the heartbreaks, but on the small, quiet moments in between. The ones that didn't seem like much back then, but they hold weight now. When I was 12, I remember thinking girls were like another species. Curved hips, high-pitched voices, mysterious smells. Strange and a bit intimidating. I used to look at them like they were alien creatures with wide hips and weird eyeliner. But by 13, those hips, well, they started looking sexy. I didn't know what was happening. Obviously, testosterone was kicking in, and suddenly I started finding girls and women not just odd, but beautiful, in a way powerful, especially when they ignored me. When I was 15, I had this massive crush on my office studies teacher, Miss Michael. She had this calmness about her, this warm way of speaking. One day, I actually walked her to the bus stop after school. I asked her where she lived, and she said Putney, with my parents. Bold as anything, I asked if she had a boyfriend. She smiled, slightly amused, and said, yes. I was gutted. She could see the disappointment spread across my little face. I just nodded and waddled off down the road with my teenage dignity in tatters. Still makes me laugh now. At 17, I had my first proper girlfriend, Debbie. I used to go round her house, hang out, mostly indoors. I never took her out at all. I was shy, really shy. Didn't realize I had social anxiety and undiagnosed ADHD bubbling under the surface. Then I had a problem with a gang, some local Pakistani gang. My dad thought it would be safer if I stayed in Sicily for a few months. When I got back, Debbie had moved on. I remember her saying something like, I met someone who actually took me to McDonald's. That stung. She wanted romance, normal teen stuff. But I was a sofa and hold hands kind of guy. Then came Roberta. I was 19, a beautiful Portuguese girl, sweet, kind, genuine. But again, the same problem. I didn't take her out. I liked her company, her energy. But the outside world, that was overwhelming. The breakup still sits with me. She asked me to meet her at Queen's Park, and I brought a little gift, a Garfield plush toy in a plastic bag. Thought it was cute. She smiled politely, then broke up with me. I walked one way, she walked the other. I kept turning back, hoping she'd turn too, but she never did. At 22, I met an Irish girl and stayed with her for 4 years. We had love, laughter, and a lot of Guinness, but her heart was always back home in Ireland. I couldn't compete with that. I wanted her to stay. She wanted to go. I still remember her telling me, almost casually, that she'd had sexual encounters from the age of 14, often while drunk with friends. When her mates came over from Ireland and they all went out for girls' nights, I'd be sitting alone with my dog, crying quietly in the garden. It wasn't perfect. Next was a Japanese girlfriend, a lawyer, a bengoshi, as they say, intelligent, driven. She told me her parents had arranged a marriage for her with another lawyer to merge families and build wealth. That was that. She returned to Japan, and I was left wondering if I'd ever really known her. To be brutally honest, our intimacy had always felt clinical, cold, but I respected her, and I still do. When my mother passed away, I went to China, needed a change, a reset. A year later, I met my future wife. We were together 18 years, built a life, and now it's over. Divorce after nearly 2 decades. Just like that, and here I am, alone again. So what has all this taught me? That love is never a guarantee, that even deep connections can fade, that some women will enter your life like lightning, bright, beautiful, and gone before you can say their name twice. Some will stay for a while, and you'll start building a life, imagining futures. And some will leave you before you ever fully arrive. And there's my estranged daughter. I think about her more often than I say. When I hear a story about someone losing a parent they never spoke to, I feel a lump in my throat. But then I remember I tried. After my father died, I withdrew. I shut down. I had grief in my bones. Phones broke. Life stalled. Months blurred. I didn't reach out. Not because I didn't care, but because I couldn't. I was down, and I stayed down. And maybe I should have made the first move again, but part of me feels tired of always being the one chasing. They say if you love someone, reach out. But what if they never reach back? What if they only receive, but never give? My genetic mother is the same. She has my number. She can call. But she doesn't. And I think back to when I told her about my father's passing, and she sent a message through my ex. No card, no phone call, just silence. That silence, that's louder than any words. And yet, in all of this, there's still a part of me that hopes that maybe one day my daughter will see a video I made or hear a story about her strange, stubborn dad, and maybe she'll understand. Maybe she'll forgive me. Maybe we'll talk. And if we don't, well, maybe I'll keep telling my stories anyway. Because this voice of mine, raw, broken, funny, human, is all I've got left. And somewhere in the telling, I heal.
I don't wanna see you. I don't wanna hear you tonight. I don't wanna fight you. You don't wanna know if I feel alright. I don't wanna just forgive you, I just wanna be fine. I've been waiting for a sign to light up, yeah. And your heart is out of sight. I just wanna feel mine.